The Gina and Matty podcast.
What's going on, Jay?
Well, in October, Olivia Rodrigo fell through a hole in the stage. Remember, we watched that on video? She was kind of dancing and walking backwards, and it was potentially the hole that she might have appeared out of in the first place. That was in Melbourne. Well, staying in Melbourne, just on the weekend, Chris Martin has fallen through the stage as well.
Holes opening up all over the place in Melbourne.
He was also walking backwards, and it would have hurt him a bit more. See, Olivia would have bounced a little better because she's younger.
Just hurt his knees a bit more.
Yeah, hurt his knees. He fell and kind of hit all underneath his shoulders, and he'll be bruised and sore. And apparently he said, well, that wasn't meant to happen, and came back out. Lucky he's pretty fit, but super embarrassing. What's the worst thing? You know, when I'm teaching singers, I'm like, what's the worst thing that can happen? You could fall through a stage.
Would you rather forget the
stage.
words to a song or fall through a hole in the stage?
Much rather forget the words.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's nothing more. That's your nightmare. But someone must have got in trouble for not closing that up, or just yelling out, "Hey, stop! There's a hole."
Chris. Oh, there he goes. Oh God, we're going to hear about this for the next year now.
Super embarrassing.
Apparently, it's a great gig. I've had friends who have been to the one in Melbourne. It's coming to Sydney, I think, very soon, if not tonight. Yeah. Saying it is unbelievable, the show. I've seen it all over the TikToks as well. It looks incredible.
I bet. Well, hopefully he doesn't have to fall through a hole again to keep the show consistent.
No, they're just performing in one called Homebush.
Oh, ouch.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God. I've offended Homebush.
In baby news, Margot Robbie has given birth to her first child. Now, she sort of snuck through the cracks but didn't really announce that she was pregnant until she was noticed a little bit of a baby bump in a bikini. And that seems to have flown by. 9 months has gone, and apparently it's a baby boy. There's no sign of the name yet, and I'm not even totally sure it's a boy. They're saying it might be a boy.
I love it.
She's keeping it. She's keeping it.
I love that.
Keeping it very secret.
Yeah, privacy in this day and age. Like, you don't have to tell anyone. I love the fact that they do that. Like, she didn't even really do an official announcement that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
She still hasn't announced that she's given birth, which was apparently a month ago.
Yes. Yeah, I like it too. She doesn't need the publicity. Now, the original influencer, Martha Stewart, has recently dropped a bombshell while she was appearing on a game show called Rent Free, declaring that her famous neighbour, who is Ryan Reynolds, isn't funny in real life.
Oh, God, that's a sledge, isn't it?
Why would she say that? She said he's not funny. Actually, off screen, he's just very serious. Apparently, she said she doesn't even know if he can actually be funny. And so...
Surely he's snapped back. Has he said anything?
He fired back on Twitter saying, I disagree with her, and cheekily noted that Martha is unexpectedly spry. Now, suggesting she's a force to be reckoned with. I watched the Martha Stewart documentary on the weekend. Coincidentally, she's a tough cookie. Like, she was apparently America's first billionaire female woman who was billionaire, and that was taken from her homewares, and she had a lot of TV shows, lots of books, all those kinds of things. Then she went to jail, which is famously known for...
what did she go to jail for? Is it tax fraud? Is it something like that?
Insider trading.
Okay.
Yeah, so someone called her apparently and told her to sell her shares in something, and she did, and then she ended up going to jail for about 6 months. But watching the documentary, she is... a force to be reckoned with.
Is Snoop in it? Did you get to see any of her
you saw her friendship with Snoop. Yeah, they met.
How did that come about?
They met. They were at a Justin Bieber roast, and they sat beside each other at the roast.
Yeah.
And they just realised they had a lot of stuff in common. Like, he loves cooking and gardening and all those kinds of things, and their friendship.
Very different kind of gardening that Snoop likes to do, I'd imagine, to what Martha does.
Yeah, but they became friends. But yeah, if you watch the documentary, it was fascinating.
What's it on? What streaming service
Netflix.
Is it on?
It was fascinating, but boy, you wouldn't want to work for her. I'd say she's quite strong and opinionated, and I can see why she would have done this and potentially offended Ryan.
Gina and Matty.
Big weekend in our part of the world, in my part of the world. We went away. Mum and Dad had a mum and dad weekend.
Nice.
Dropped the kids with the in-laws. And they spent the weekend with their Pommy and Owello, and then we went up to Brisbane for the weekend. Just a little quick 48 hours off the grid. It's just sometimes you need to do it.
Absolutely. I love how you do this stuff.
We try and do it a bit.
Yeah.
Like this was for our anniversary. We've got our wedding anniversary coming up in a couple of weeks. And
how many?
It's a very good question. It's 20 years together this year, 11 years married.
Okay.
That's right, I think. Yes, that is right. And then, for the next sort of, 10 weeks or so, I'm chockers work-wise. So I was like, this is the weekend. Let's go. And we wanted to go somewhere where it was warm. you know, and away. It felt like we'd been away. So like an hour on the plane up to Brizzy, used some points, bingo, bango, flop and drop. Just the bags there and went to the hotel, straight to the pool, lying on the pool deck, which was great. And then we went, I love food. So we went to this restaurant that was down on the Brisbane River, which is fantastic. After we'd been, they've got those electric scooters that you can hire.
I love them.
And it's like, it just brought out the child. We were just both like, let's ride scooters. And then we rode them everywhere. It was fantastic along the river. So anyway, we went to the restaurant for dinner and it was beautiful Japanese food. And
yum.
Like, both Bella and I are really indecisive when it comes, because we just want everything. It's like, oh, but look at that. Oh, but look at that tempura eggplant. Oh, but look at that miso. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, so what we did was we got the banquet. We go, it's just easier. It's easier that way. It's like you get the set dishes. And then I was like, let's get the one up, because I want the Wagyu. Yakitori. I want the sticks with the beef on it, right? So I was like, let's just go one up. And we had way too much food. And it was like, it was getting to the point where, like, okay, we're wrapping it up. We've had a couple of drinks. We've eaten far too much. I'm like, okay, where is our waitress gone? Like, it's just one of those, it's like, oh, God, I really want to flag her down and just sort of wrap this up. And where is she? And I was like, oh, okay, that's not our waitress, but I'll just go, excuse me. This girl was walking past. Excuse me, all in black. She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, can we just grab the bill, please? And she's like, oh, I don't work here. I was just going to the toilet. I'm sitting over there. I was like, I just wanted the wharf just to collapse and me to fall straight in the ocean. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And Bella goes, oh, my God, you just made her, she's probably wearing her nicest clothes out to dinner and you've made her feel like she was in her work clothes. I was like, oh, great, good. Anyway, but the food was amazing.
Gina and Matty.
What did you do on Friday night, G?
Friday night, I went to see the Wolf Brothers.
It all started with a beer in a bar.
Did you have a beer in a bar?
Well, not me, but plenty did. So we got there early. We went out at Mingara, which I love Mingara. Went to dinner first, had a cheeky little margie, because it was Friday night. I mean, you'd be mad if you didn't. But I stopped after one because I wanted to drive home and I didn't drink. I'm not drinking a lot at the moment. And when you're at an event like this with a lot of country music fans and you're not drinking, they all are, it's funny. Keep playing the music because I've got to show you stuff.
Okay.
It all started with a beer.
So I was observing. You know when you're sober and no one else is and you're observing? And I'm just looking around the whole room. You got your toe tappers, dancers, people who just stand there and toe tap. You got your thigh slappers.
Thigh slappers,
One guy in front of us completely slapping his thigh out of time. You got your hip thrusters.
Oh, God. Jeez. Don't know where to look.
People have their
The
moves.
hip thrust, they just stand there and just thrust
They
forward.
have their move,
Oh, my
their go-to
God.
moves. You got your side steppers. You know,
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty
I
popular.
reckon I'm a bit of a side
You're a
stepper.
side stepper?
Yeah.
Where you-
Scooey in one hand and just like left
Yeah.
to right, step ball change.
Yeah. Well, you got your hips. Just the hips go.
Mm-hmm.
That's, nothing other than the hips. But my winner Friday night, there's this lady right in front of us, and she's more of a dance walker. So have you seen a dance walker?
No,
Like,
I'm about to. I've got a feeling. Oh, yep.
I can't look you right in the eye, walk towards you, and then to turn.
She's just doing a step walking in a square.
She's a walk dancer, and
Yeah,
then to turn,
right.
tilt their head to the right, to turn to the right, tilt back to the left. She just walk danced all around us all night, but with a lot of eye contact. So have you...
That's so uncomfortable. People who demand a lot of eye contact at the best of times is uncomfortable, let alone when they're dancing. That's so...
Oh, my gosh.
So weird.
So I think it's my first time in ages going out being like completely sober and just observing other people's behaviour, and it was very entertaining.
Did you work out which one you were? You go, oh gosh, I'm usually one of them. Which one am I normally?
Yes, I think I'm the side tapper.
Okay.
And I'm probably a bit of hips, hip side to side hips. But yes, I was thinking, I can't really see my style here. I must be really cool.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.